Hey guys, how's everyone going today? In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about creating a keyword bank. This is essentially going to be a complete step-by-step guide to relevancy on Amazon. And throughout this tutorial, I'm going to talk quite a bit about relevancy because it's just so important for you to understand, especially when you're launching a product for the first time and you're trying to set your product up for long-term success. Relevancy is one of the most important metrics that Amazon looks at for product success. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be giving it a breakdown, step-by-step process so that you can go out there and crush it on Amazon. If you guys don't know, my name's Lamar and I'm a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller. Before we jump into today's video, I did just want to mention that this is essentially an excerpt from my Amazon FBA Launchpad course. So if you're getting value out of a tutorial like this, a step-by-step guide, and you're finding this guide useful, definitely think about checking out my course in the link below. I have a couple of other free video courses down there that you can take advantage of. And then of course I have my full-blown step-by-step Amazon FBA Launchpad course, which you can also check out in the link below. Minimally though, if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up or drop a comment below if you've got any questions about the following tutorial. And last but not least, I am going to be using a software tool in here called Helium 10 or H10. They reached out to me. I've been seeing a lot of great things come from them. So I am going to be doing this keyword bank, or the method of discovering relevant keywords utilizing their tool. So if you guys are interested in using their tool, they did hook me up and everybody here with a pretty awesome 50% off coupon code. So if you're interested in that discount or just learning more about Helium 10, copying my process essentially of what I'm going to be outlining here, I would appreciate it if you guys would use my affiliate link below. It gets me a little bit of a kickback and it also gets you guys a pretty nice discount. But without further ado, guys, let's jump into this step-by-step guide to building relevancy on Amazon. All right, before we start talking about the nitty-gritty or kind of the step-by-step process here, I did just want to back up and give you guys kind of an overview of the importance of why a keyword bank and a relevant keyword bank is just so important. This is essentially the foundational element that's going to go into creating your title, your bullet points, your description, your back-end search term, your subject matter, and last but not least, Amazon PPC. I don't see a lot of people talking about Amazon PPC and the keywords that you put into your back end, or thinking about the keywords, how you're writing your listing, and the impact that that's having on your PPC. But that's a very relevant use case, and it's extremely important that we're building up this keyword bank that we're then going to use to create all of these very foundational structural things that's going to set up our product for success on Amazon. Now, this isn't a tutorial on breaking down each one of these elements and helping you guys build the title or the bullet points or the description. I'm purely just talking about in this video, how do we go about building the keyword bank that's going to be the foundational piece that then will allow us to create all these other things. And just here again, sets us up for immediate success on Amazon. And if you haven't launched a product yet on Amazon, I just wanted to stress this point because your keyword bank is really that foundational piece. And I've launched now hundreds of products on Amazon, and I've continuously refined the process about creating the keyword bank and just the importance of it. Now let's jump into some key factors of creating this keyword bank. And I've already kind of touched on it, but I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to speak to relevant or relevancy. Now, this is super important now and going into the future. And the reason for this is Amazon has come out with many statements, the way that they're platform continues to evolve, continues to lean more and more towards relevancy, providing that customer search or that customer query exactly the product that they're looking for. And that comes down to relevancy. We've seen this time and time again with Amazon continuing to refine the way that we create listings or roll out new features. And I anticipate that relevancy is going to become more and more important as we go into the future. So I stress this word a lot because it's just so important. We don't want to be showing up in non-relevant search queries. It's going to hurt our listings performance. It's going to hurt our listings conversion rate, and just generally speaking, not going to turn out well for our product as it performs on Amazon if we're showing up for a lot of non-relevant search terms or dumping a lot of non-relevant or non-interested buyers onto our listing. Essentially, the big idea here is that we want to be showing up in search results that are hyper relevant to our product, where then that customer immediately purchases our product. That is the most ideal state. Now let's talk a little bit about the Amazon terms of service. Now, I know I just said that I wasn't going to give you guys too much information on how to build the title, and I'm not going to go into that, but I did just want to briefly throw up some of these terms of services here because it's going to be a little bit relevant later on when I'm talking about certain aspects of building the listing. Here is the product title requirements, okay? Titles must not exceed 200 characters, including spaces. Titles must not contain promotional phrases such as free shipping, 100% quality guarantee. Titles must not contain characters for decoration such as exclamation points, dollar signs, etc., etc. Titles must contain product identifying information such as hiking boots or umbrella. Going down into the next section here, they talk about title length. And the reason I'm going through this terms of service here is because we have to imply a little bit about what Amazon means. They're not going to be very clear because, quite honestly, I still think that they're trying to figure out a lot of these things for themselves, and they're constantly changing. They're updating the algorithm. So we need to be adaptive and also be able to infer what Amazon really wants and means through their terms of service. Title length. Amazon generously allows 200 characters for titles, but for better title quality, you should aim for a maximum of 80 characters. Okay, 80 characters, that to me right there is just going back to my relevancy point. They're looking for shorter characters. They're looking for shorter character count because it helps their algorithm with high relevancy. Now, I'm not recommending that you write a title that's only 80 characters. The majority of my titles are still over 150 character count. You may notice that different title lengths are listed in our category-specific style guidelines. These are guidelines only, not strict requirements, based on the preferred typical style for your product listing in that category. For example, if a category-specific style guide recommends a title length of 150 characters, a product will not be suppressed from search for having a title over 150 characters long as it stays within the limit of 200 characters. So we do want to use all of the characters, or as close to somewhere between 150 characters to 200 characters, because Amazon allows us to do that. However, they do also make a point here that for a better title quality, shorter is better, or a maximum of 80 characters. I think as time goes on here, Amazon will continue to restrict the length of titles. I kind of see them going from making their standard, 150 characters, maybe to 120 characters, and forcing everybody to really just have their absolutely relevant characters or keywords within their title. Next, since we're going to be creating a keyword bank, or we're going to be using that keyword bank for search terms, I did just want to go through some key terms of service relating to search terms. So Amazon limits the lengths of search terms to less than 250 bytes. The search term limit applies to newly registered as well as existing ASINs. Now you guys can read the rest of this terms of service, but I just wanted to scroll down here and draw one point to your attention. Why is there only one search term field? The search term field was reduced from 5 fields to 1 field to improve the quality of Amazon search results. Previously, it was possible to add up to 5,000 bytes worth of search terms, but it generated a lot of spam, irrelevant search terms. The reduced quota of search terms helps sellers focus on only using relevant words to describe specific products. This point right here just drives home what I've been saying about relevancy. They used to allow 500 bytes in the search terms. They realized that that was too many and they reduced it to a limited 250 bytes. That is a massive reduction of search terms. And then just one more point here. Why are some of my search terms not searchable? Amazon determines the relevancy of search terms using a machine learning model. The terms we deem relevant may change over time as Amazon's machine learning model continuously gathers data. This is an automated process, and Amazon reserves the right not to use all supplied keywords for the retrieving products. Point here again, Amazon is constantly updating their machine learning model. They're moving more towards relevancy. And even if they're not performing well, Amazon reserves the right for them not to even be searchable. Okay, so now that we've reviewed those terms of service, just coming back here to the key factors. There's one important point here that I kind of ignore when it comes to Amazon terms of service. All right, now coming back to the key factors here, I just did want to pull out a note here. Amazon says that we do not need to repeat keywords within the title, bullet points, or the search term fields. Now, I don't repeat keywords within the title, as in I don't have the same keyword listed twice. Likewise, I don't have the same keyword listed twice within the search terms. However, I do repeat my keywords, and you'll find my keywords within my title, within my bullet points, and within my back-end search terms. And I do think that that's important. And the reason for that goes back to relevancy, and it prevents you from adding non-relevant keywords. The idea here is not to completely stuff our listing with a bunch of keywords. If the keyword is relevant, we want to add it. If it's not relevant, we don't want to add it. We don't want to confuse the algorithm, this automated machine learning algorithm. We want it to be easy for Amazon to understand exactly what our product is and serve it to the correct customers. All right, so now let's start talking about how do we build this keyword bank. Now there's a bunch of third-party, data software tools out there. Helium 10 is one of them. It's not the only one. I've done the keyword bank on many, of these other software tools. It's completely possible to do it on another one. This step-by-step tutorial is just going to be about creating it using H10. However, like I'm saying, you can use other ones and just apply the same principles, mindsets to what we're trying to achieve here. Using a third-party software system is the best way you can build your keyword bank when you're first starting. However, as soon as you're up and selling on Amazon, you start getting or running Amazon PPC, and you start getting real Amazon data on your own product, you want to incorporate that real data into your listing. You want to optimize your listing. You're going to find out new information through specifically the PPC search term report and conducting a reverse ASIN search on your own product. Now, this just makes sense, right? We're going to use the data tools that we have available to us to create the listing. But once we actually get hard data straight from Amazon or hard data, straight from our customers, seeing how they're actually purchasing our product, what keywords they're using to purchase our product, we want to incorporate that into our keyword bank or update certain aspects of our listing, our title, our backend keywords potentially. The point being here is that we want to refresh our data once we learn about how our product is selling on Amazon. So there's a stage 1 of using a software tool and getting our product up and selling on Amazon. And then there's a stage 2 of refining that product listing and using Amazon's data as a way to just make your product more relevant to those customers looking and buying your product. All right, guys, so now let's jump in here and take a look at the Keyword Bank SOP. So this is a Keyword Bank SOP. Like I said, I'm going to be using Helium 10. This is not from Helium 10. This is my SOP, and I just have it outlined here. This is a great example of a bunch of different SOPs that I have available in my Launchpad course. If you guys are interested in it, you're interested in getting this SOP, download it, definitely check out my Launchpad course in the link below. But I'm just going to keep this here so that we can reference it together so that you guys can, use it. You can see how I'm doing this as we go through using this tool. Step number 1 is to identify the main keyword that shows the majority of your direct competitors. To help identify or help find the main keyword, we want to run a reverse ASIN lookup for our number 1 competitor. And we should use Cerebro, which is an HTML tool. Okay, so let's come over to Amazon here and say that we're selling a honey pot, or like this is our product that we're going to be selling. Now, let's just say that my product looks something similar to this, and this was my main competitor. I identified this as my main competitor. What I'm going to do is just copy the ASIN, and I'm going to run a reverse ASIN lookup or reverse ASIN search on this product to identify what keywords this product is selling for on Amazon or ranking for on Amazon. So I've taken that ASIN and I've come over now into Helium 10, and I'm underneath their reverse ASIN lookup Cerebro tool, and I'm just going to plug in that ASIN and click Get Keywords. Now the next step here is simply just to sort this data set by search volume. You can just do that by clicking here. Now, essentially what this tool is saying is that this honey jar is ranking for these specific products somewhere on the page. As you can see, organic rank over here is 286 for cookie jar. So the next step in the sequence after we've already sorted it by search volume is just to go down the list here and look for the most relevant search term that displays at least 7 to 10 of our direct competitors. Okay, and you can kind of just click here and it pulls up the search term within Amazon, and then you can just directly look to see if those are your most direct competitors, or if those are your direct competitors. And you just go down the list here. And maybe you think honey sticks could be, maybe your main keyword. So you click that. And now after looking at the search results, you identify that this is not our main keyword. These are actual honey sticks, and we're selling a honey pot or a honey jar. So these are clearly not direct competitors with us. It might be relevant, slightly relevant. However, it doesn't show, this main keyword doesn't show the majority of our direct competitors. I like to do this process manually because I like to have a gut check. I want to know for sure that these are our direct competitors. Sometimes the data isn't always 100% accurate, or the keyword that is most relevant to your product, your main keyword might be a little bit more challenging to identify. Or there might be several keywords that are considered or could be considered your main keyword, right? So this might be an easy example, and that's why I've chosen it. However, every category is very different on Amazon. So what I'm saying is it's not always going to be so cut and dry, and having an eye check here, actually going to the Amazon search results and looking, seeing what products are showing up and confirming that they are your direct competitors just gives you a little bit more better sense over exactly what your main keyword is. And that is essentially what we're trying to identify here in step number 1, is identify our main keyword that shows the majority of our competitors. So continuing down the list here, mini crock pot, no. Small crock pot, no. Candy jar, no. We're just keep going down the list here until we find something that could be our main keyword. And if you had to, you could just open up each one of these to check. However, we're coming down the list here. Maybe sugar dispenser could be one. Let's check it out. Sugar dispenser, clearly not our main keyword. Looking at the research results for sugar dispenser, we're not selling this product. It's clearly, it could potentially resemble our product with the bowl and the spoon, but it's not a honey pot. It doesn't have 7 to 10 of our direct competitors. Coming down the list here, we come across honey pot. So honey pot, let's open this up. So like I said, in this case, I already kind of knew that our main search term was honey pot. In many other cases, you might not know. And this does seem to be our main keyword because let's just say it has 7 to 10 of our direct competitors. Now, as you can see, it's got this honey pot feminine wash. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that's a good example. As in, we're searching our direct keyword, right? Our main keyword, and it is showing our direct competitors, but it's also showing these other non-relevant keywords, except for it is relevant in Amazon search results, and people are purchasing this product through that keyword. So here is kind of a good example where our main keyword potentially is obvious. However, there are still oddball products that are showing up that are not relevant to our to the product that we are potentially selling. Scrolling down the page further, you can see that there's many other honey pots on here, and it's pretty safe to say, going back to Cerebro, that honey pot is the highest searched volume main keyword that displays 7 to 10 of our direct competitors. So now that we've identified and we've found our main search term or our main keyword for the product that we're selling, the next step is to copy the top 10 ASINs from the highest search main keyword that we've already found and most related to our product. And then we're going to use the Cerebro tool again. So going back to honeypot, what this step is essentially saying is we're going to copy the ASINs of our top 10 direct competitors. Now that we've identified our top keyword, we're going to identify our top 10 competitors. This is competitor number 1. They are the organic search result. This is competitor number 1. We're going to skip over this product because it's not a honeypot. This is product number 2, product number 3, and so on and so forth. We're looking for the direct competitors to our product offering. So I'm going to come back to Cerebro, which is right over here, and go to the reverse ASIN lookup and plug those 10 ASINs in there. So these are all of my top 10 competitors, my direct competitors for the product that I'm considering selling. And I'm going to get the keywords. Okay, so we've run that search, a reverse ASIN lookup there. Going back to the keyword bank, the next step would be to run a search and apply the following filters. So I have some criteria here that I've found has produced the best results with coming up with hyper relevant search terms. Search volume is a minimum of 200, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to go through and show you how to do this, but I just wanted to read through it first. So search volume 200, word count 1, match type organic, ranking competitors minimum 2, and competitor performance minimum 3. So coming back over to Cerebro, so you just have to fill this data in, and the advanced filters here, if it's not open, all you need to do is just click the little arrow here and it drops down. So search volume is going to be 200. As I said, 200 minimum search volume. The reason for that is that you might find that products are showing up for very low search volume, and we just don't want them to be necessarily mixed into the mix. We're looking for high volume or your higher volume search volume keywords, and typically speaking, I usually set a cutoff of around 200 searches a month, and this is where you do that here. I changed the word count to 1 because it's potential that you have a product that might have a single, search term. Maybe it's just like honey, for example, right? We want that to display in our reverse ASIN lookup. I changed the match type to organic because I'm only interested in how these products are ranking organically. And then I come down to ranking competitors. So you can click the little question mark here, but essentially ranking competitors is the number of competitor ASINs that ranked for the given phrase. So as you're about to see, we're going to see a ton of phrases below, and I usually like to see at least 2, okay? Sometimes you can play around with these numbers, like ranking competitors 3. I typically don't go much above that because you're going to find different products, or your competitors' products are going to be ranked. Some are going to be ranked more successfully than others. So I usually say that at least 2 of the products, 2 of my competitors' products needs to be ranking on the page for me to consider it relevant. And then last but not least, I type in here a competitor performance score. So this is just the competitor performance index is a measure of how successful the listed competitors are as a group for the given keyword. So this is just some sort of performance index score that Helium 10 has. And I think that this helps with getting relevant keywords or displaying the most relevant keywords for your specific product. And I usually put in 3. Now guys, typically speaking, 90% of you will find success with doing this. I'm not saying that this works or that this criteria, these filters, is going to work for everybody and every product, okay? I'm just showing you how I do it and what works for me most of the time. I do have to sometimes play around with this. Maybe I don't get enough filtered keywords, after we apply the changes, and I'll have to play around with the search volume. Maybe 200 is too low. Maybe it's too high. Maybe you do want to have a competitor performance score that's actually a 4 instead of a 3, because here again, you either have too many keywords or not enough. This is just a framework that I've found good success with using H10, and it's working for me, so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. Next thing here, just click apply. Okay, after we've applied those settings, we can come down here and we can see all of the filtered keywords. So we have 116 keywords. Now, I hope that that is enough keywords that's going to allow us to, generate a keyword bank and enough search terms for the back end. If it's not, like I said, you need to play around with the filters above and get a couple more filtered keywords. So maybe a 200 minimum search volume was too high, and maybe we should drop down to 150, and that'll get us more filtered keywords. The next step after I click apply there is simply just to sort this again by search volume, because we're looking for the highest relevant searched keywords. Now, we've done that, and this is pretty much our keyword bank or a master keyword list that I go off of and build my product listings out with. As we start to scroll down here and we look at the phrases, this is the last chance that we have to remove any non-relevant keywords. So coming down here, honey pot, relevant, we know that. Honey dispenser, relevant. Honey dipper, relevant. Honey jar, relevant. Honey pot feminine products. Okay, so this is like one of those weird examples that I was just speaking about, where honey pot is actually a brand name of this type of feminine products. And that's why it's showing up so high. And that's also why we have so many direct competitors that are also ranking for this type of search term, because we share the same main search term. However, this product is not relevant. And that's why it's important to go through here and do an eye check and make sure that the filtered keywords, the phrases that you're going to use to build your product listing are hyper relevant exactly to what it is that the customer is purchasing. Continuing to look down the list here though, honey jars, honey jar with dipper, the honey pot company, this might actually be the brand name of the Fenimem product, and we probably want to avoid adding that. Honey dispenser, no drip glass, honey jars glass, honey pot jar. The rest of these are looking pretty relevant and directly related to our product. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is just come up to export, and I'm going to copy to Frankenstein. So Frankenstein is another one of the H10 tools. They make it super easy to just clean up this keyword bank. So I'm just going to copy to Frankenstein. And here we have now our original keyword list right in here in the exact same order. And like I said, I'm probably going to remove any non-relevant keywords that I know do not describe my product directly. So that one, and probably the other one that I said, the honey pot company. And not to mention, even just because we remove that, we're still going to show up in those search queries just because we're going to be targeting all these other keywords that, include the keyword that we just removed anyways. So it probably won't matter, but we don't want, for example, feminine product as a keyword in our, keyword bank as we're selling honey pots and not feminine products. And what I would probably do is continue to look through the rest of this list and just make sure that all these other keywords here were hyper relevant. And I'm going to take the top, let's say 15 to 20 keywords, and I'm just going to copy that and bring it over to my keyword bank. I've pasted in now in order the top keyword or search terms that are happening on Amazon for my specific product, or that I've identified as my product main keywords. So I'm going to label this as my kind of top keyword phrases. The reason for this is these phrases are important for us when we're building out the listing as well. We want to make sure that we are repeating honeypot in our title, bullet points, back-end keywords, etc., right? We want to reuse and emphasize this keyword, not just this one, but all of these like top 15, 20, 25 keywords. We want to try to reuse these keyword phrases throughout our listing. Now that we have the top keyword phrases, next step is just to create that keyword bank that I've been saying. So we're going to come back to Frankenstein and pretty much just leave the output settings as is, remove duplicates, convert to lowercase, remove special characters, that's all fine, and then just process. And now you guys have it. This is pretty much the keyword bank that then I go to use to create the rest of the listing in addition to the search term phrases that we've already seen there. I'll just come over and copy that into the bank as well. So here again, I'm already seeing some non-relevant keywords that I'd probably take out before I removed all those duplicates like that. Amazon does say that we don't need to include certain keywords within our search term report, and I'd probably take again a look at the SOP or the TOS from Amazon and just remove any of those filler words like the, and, of, etc., etc. I'm also seeing feminine products here again, so I'd probably remove, that word should have been removed before I just ran the tool there, but this is just to give you guys an example, kind of the process that I'm going through. So there you guys have it. That's basically the keyword bank SOP that I'm using Helium 10 or using Helium 10. We've already done the last 3 steps here, which was copy the top 25 phrases to a listing write-up doc as top searched keyword phrases. We've already done that. Copy the whole list from Excel and dedupe the keywords in order from high to low. We just did that. Remove non-relevant keywords or filler keywords. Reference, we need to clean up the keywords essentially, which is what I was just talking about with our keyword bank down below. And this is pretty much the foundation that will set you guys up for massive success and relevancy for your product on Amazon. coming back over to the deck here, I hope that this, process, this step-by-step guide here was helpful for you guys, showing you a little bit of insight into how I do keywords for my products and some important things that I'm seeing evolve on the Amazon platform and what's just kind of working for me and my team. Like I said, guys, if you're interested in getting more step-by-step tutorials like this, please check out my course in the link below. And minimally, if you've gotten value out of this video, check out the affiliate link or give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel. You guys know the deal. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.